When my son was a little boy and I would allow him to spend the night at my mother's home or my sister's home, his aunt's home, or when he was at school, or anytime he was away from home, anytime he was away or separated from me, and even when he was in high school, I would remind him every now and then, remember, you live with me and you have to come back home to me. And what that basically, and he knew what that meant, but what that basically means is that when he was away from me, whatever he did, whatever actions he took during the day, for him to remember that he had to deal with me when he got home. And that's not necessarily in a disciplinary fashion, but it was also to remember that there's rewards for him at home. And with that being said, all through my son's life, he was so excited to let me know. Like sometimes even before he got home, he would be so excited to let me know if he won an award at school, or, if he helped someone out with anything at school, whatever was good. He was so excited to let me know because he held me in that esteem, knowing that I would give him praise as his parent. He had that reverential fear for me. And then when he got home, it was this excitement to see me, knowing that I would not only mention it to him on our way home, but when we got home too, he knew I would call my family and let them know the award he won or what he did to please me, and how I was so excited and proud of my son. And then on the flip side of that, when he would do anything, because we're not perfect, when he would do anything that he knew I wouldn't be pleased with, he wouldn't tell me. But of course I would find out because the school would call me, or my sister would call me, or someone, I would find out some way. And then there were other times where he just wanted to get it over with, so he would just let me know what he did. But the atmosphere on the ride home and then the atmosphere at home would be completely different. Now, he could always come home because that's his home and that was my son. But when he did something that he knew displeased me, his entire face would show his shame. And he didn't have that same confidence and boldness because he knew that I wasn't pleased, And this goes back also to if I told my son, to give this note to your teacher when you get home, and maybe he forgot or he just didn't do it, and he get home and, I would chastise him or discipline him because he wasn't obedient. And this just makes me think of all the opportunities, in our life where our Father has provided us time after time after time again with opportunities that He's placed across our path that we didn't take advantage of, or we weren't obedient, or we didn't do what was necessary for the body of Mashiach at that time when we were supposed to. And how these things, and on the flip side, the opportunities throughout my life, and I'm sure throughout yours, because again, we're not perfect, but the opportunities throughout my life where I can recall where I know it was no one but Yahweh that sent this person by my path, and I listened to the Ruach, the indwelled spirit in me, telling me when other people wouldn't help that person, for me to help that person. So I would. And I would just be so excited because deep down and in the forefront of my mind, I knew I was pleasing my Father. I was pleasing Him. There's a scripture in 1 John that I want to read to you all. 1 John, I'm going to read verse 28 and 29. And this is talking about when we meet Him, how we should aspire to be, how our actions throughout our life, we should seize every moment that He provides for us so that when we meet Him, we won't be shamed, because there will be a lot of excitement, tears of joy, but there will also be some weeping from His children, because they will know that He's going to bring that up, the things that we've done for the body and the things that we didn't, the things that we were obedient to and the things that we weren't. So again, this is 1 John chapter 2, verse 28. And now, little children, stay in Him. I always think that's so beautiful when in the scriptures we're referred to as little children. It's almost like He wants us to, not almost, but it's like our Father wants us to remember our innocence in Him, because when we lose that and we start thinking that we know more than Him, we get into very dangerous, demonic, and wicked territory. But again, and now little children, stay in Him, so that when He appears, we might have boldness and not be ashamed before Him at His coming. And 29, if you know that He is righteous, you know that everyone doing righteousness has been born of Him. So why in that scripture would He remind His children, His little children, to stay in Him? That tells me, and that should tell you, that yes, we are His children, but we're going to have to face something when we see Him. What we're facing and what we should aspire to are the rewards and the awards. The rewards that He's going to give us. The rewards. We can gain rewards, and we can lose them. And when I say lose, not that He's going to give it and then take it away when you get there, but there will be assigned to you. And, when we see Him, and this is talking about the Net Hatef, the rapture, the harpazo. We will either be bold to see Him because we'll be so excited for Him to give us our rewards, knowing that we've pleased Him. Not that we're, aspiring, it's not, I'm sorry. It's not a narcissistic way of thinking, because none of that has place in His kingdom. It's knowing that you have done the best that you could to please your Father, and you're excited to see Him. Like when my son was excited to see me when he knew that he did right by me. And when we know that we've done the best we could in this life to be right by our Father. And when we see him, we're excited. That's the boldness that scripture is talking about. It's that boldness in knowing, oh, I'm going to see my Father. I can't wait. I know he has some things for me because he's so pleased with me and he's good to his promises. And then there will be others. And I only pray that we all, that we all get the rewards, that he wants us to have, that he desires for us to have. But there will be others that, and they're still his children, but they'll be there and they'll be looking in shame because they did not stay in him. So I just want to read that scripture one more time. And now, little children, stay in him, so that when he appears, we might have boldness and not be ashamed before him at his coming. So we all have to face the judgment seat. We all do, every person. And when we are taken up, there, he will be determining the rewards, the gifts, and the shamayim for us. When we get to that seat, will we have boldness and knowing that, oh, I can't, I can't wait to see him because I've tried so hard to please my Father and seized opportunities the best that I could when they came by my path. Or will we be looking in shame with our head low, excited to see him, but feeling shameful because we didn't seize? I imagine, this is just my own thoughts. I'm just imagining that some being there and all these thoughts are running through your head like, oh my goodness, it's Yahshua. I'm so happy to be here. I finally get to see him. I finally, get to worship. And here's my brothers and my sisters. And I can just imagine, but then you have this soaking feeling because all of a sudden, like a movie reel, you're thinking about things in your life, once you have been born from above, when you're born again. And after that, you think about these opportunities where you could have helped this person, or, you could have brought the good news to this person or that person, but you waited and you waited and you waited. And then before you know, the rapture happens. So it's just something to think about. I appreciate you all watching my videos. He's been hitting me so hard, the Ruach, his spirit, and I just appreciate it. I really do. I haven't made videos like this in quite some time, but I'm just appreciative, and I hope that you all just continuously and fervently seek him, because it's so close. His coming is so close, and my emotions are not a sad, it's not a sad thing, but it is overwhelming in a good way, because I know that the Shamayim is my home. It's our home. And our Father just wants us to stay focused. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for listening. I love you all. And I pray that you start seizing the opportunities that he gives you more and more, to show him that he can trust you, and to show him, that the rewards that he desires for you to have in the heavens, in the Shamayim, will be rightfully so. And yeah, that's it. I love you. Till the next video. Shalom.